Hi everyone, this is Serkat. Today I will be showcasing you a bunch of games from PLAYTE, a Korean board game publisher. As part of the Board Game Business Expo convention that will be happening the end of this month, I was reached out by PLAYTE. They asked me if there are any games I'm interested in, and they will send it over to me to showcase to you. And there's just so many. I was already going to get a crate from them, and I still am, because there was just so many games I wanted to get. For this video, I restricted myself on 8 games. This is their container box deal, where for 10,000 yen, you can actually stuff it up with as many games as you can fit. Very easily you can fit in 8, 9 games. It's such a good deal. I will leave a link on their pre-order page. If you're going to the Board Game Business Expo, you can get yourself one of these boxes. You can also pre-order some of their new releases. And I will also put a link to their Amazon Japan store that they just opened. So anyway, without further ado, let's start. The first game is something that I have been really wanting to get since I saw the video from Thinker and Themer. So this is Pentorini, and it's also the twin of Pentorini, which is kind of a more Dutch themed one, whereas this one is more kind of Greek Santorini themed. It's such a nice kind of, it's a puzzle, I guess you would call it, rather than like a board game. It's a daily calendar. I love this. Every day now I have been opening it up and trying to make the date. So you have to basically leave the gaps for the day of the week, the date number, and the month. And you may think that no way the actual like pieces would fit each time, but they do. And it's so fun to just get that done. Me and my partner, we kind of compete each day to see who gets to finish it the fastest. No, it's really neat. The Pentorini one has these little cubes that is supposed to also make it a bit easier, and I really love this. I'm gonna get a couple more at the Board Game Business Expo for my family, and I'm just gonna give it a round. Next up is Rollie. This is a push your luck party game for 2 to 7 players that has dice rolling and Monopoly money. For me, Christmas and end of the year period always has this sort of casino betting games, and this one is a perfect fit. In this game, you are trying to collect the money bills. They range from -5 worth to 10. The way you can take the money is that you roll the die, and depending on the number shown, you can take 1 bill from the central bank. You put that money in your stake area. However, if you roll doubles and you have that number that was rolled in the doubles in your stake area, then you go bust. That's why you need to make sure on your turn once in a while to secure your bills. And in a way, that kind of means you pass. Whenever you secure, you get a tie token. You're gonna use this because, as you saw, you have a -5 worth bill. Why would you want a negative worth bill? Because in the end, whoever has the majority of each bill will get the highest valued token. So as you can see here, the red, even though it's worth -5 points, the token for it, if you have the most reds, is worth 100 points. Then the second most will get the next one, and then the third most will get the next one. But if there's a tie for any of those positions, you can break that with the tie tokens that people get when they kind of pass, when they secure. It's really fun. It has this exhilarating element of like, pushing your luck. And again, like I said, it just reminds me of the holiday periods for me. I can't wait to play this with my family. Next up, we have Orapa Space. So I would say perhaps this is one of their most popular titles. This is a successor to Orapa Mine. This is a very successful game. It's one of my favorites. The Orapa Mine has actually been nominated at Board Game Arena. It's basically, if you take Battleships, the game, and you make it more strategic, more exciting. The rules of Orapa Space are very similar to Orapa Mine. The main difference is that there's some major quality of life improvements, and it's set in space. The boards are now magnetic. There is small pieces, cutout pieces that you can use to help you just visualize better where the planets are on the deduction sheet. But the rules in general are the same like Orapa Mine. Briefly, in this game, you will be placing the different planet tokens on your board, and you're gonna try to deduce your opponent's hidden positions, and they will be doing the same with yours. The way you do this is that you send out a laser from the different sides, and when this laser hits one of the planets, depending on the angle that they hit, it will deflect, change its direction, and also it will change its color. So if it hits a blue planet, then the laser becomes blue. And if it also hits a red planet, for instance, so you have a blue and a red, it will become purple, and it will come out from different directions on the board. It's really fun to try and deduce where each planet is. I enjoy this game so much. You can try out, if you want, Orapa Mine on Board Game Arena, but definitely if you're looking to kind of get the game in physical form, Orapa Space, their new edition, is such a treat. Next up, we have Zombie Dot. This is such a cute little game. It's a 2 to 4 player tile placement game where between 1 to 3 players are the survivors and 1 player is the zombie. In this game, you're placing down the tiles. This zombie player is trying to basically block the survivors from being able to place any tiles, and the zombies are also kind of infecting nearby tiles, but the survivors are not weak. They have abilities too. First of all, there are more of them, so they can play and coordinate together, and second of all, they have these special cards that have these abilities, such as, you know, the soldier that can protect against 2 zombies, the doctor that can heal the zombies, you've got the policeman, and if the survivors are able to play all their cards, then you win the game. I always really enjoy tile placement games, and this is really easy, really accessible, and really fast. I think it's a very nice game to kind of play, especially with beginner players.
Wow, I want brains.
Next up, we have Gachapon Trick. So this is a game that originally came out at the Tokyo Game Market, and PLAYTE have done these amazing kind of redesigned new edition of it. The box has a hole in it that you can put the money token in. That is so satisfying when you're playing. So this is a 2 to 4 players game. It's a trick-taking set collection game where you're trying to get all the different gacha toys, and the more you collect, the more points they're worth in the end. The way you can collect it is that you're going to play a trick, and if you win it, then you can buy the toys on display, and you can also buy one of the kind of cards from the deck as well, if you want some randomness to it. And I've played these with 2 players, where you're basically playing twice in every trick, and I think it's so strategic. You can be like, I think with 2 players, because you're playing twice in one trick, you can be so cunning in how you play in order to make yourself win that trick. And I really like that. Sometimes with trick-taking games, they shine in higher player counts, but I'm so happy with this one, how well it plays with 2 players. Oh, I have to show you this. So the art by Sai Beppu, it's so amazing, and you can see she took inspiration from actual gacha toys that you can find in Japan. I even have a couple of them myself. So here you have the cow. I have the exact same one from that series. And oh my god, look at this card with the pooping frog. It's actually from this series with a bunch of animals going to the toilet, and I have the little birdie one. It's so cute. It's one of my favorite gachas. But while I'm at it, I will also show you my favorite gacha, which is this sad fishman. Isn't that so cute? Okay, I have a gacha problem. Next up, we have Parrotdigm. And if you like birds, you're gonna like this game. The little parrots on the cards just give me a big smile. I really love birds so much. This game is like, if you want to really practice your trick taking, this is a game you play. Essentially, you have these paradigms, which is basically the different scoring conditions for every round, and it's just slight little tweaks on how you can gain points with every trick round. So for example, you have one that says you gain 4 points for every black card that you win in tricks. The twist in this game is that you can determine in the beginning whether this paradigm that you're playing with is gonna either gain you points or lose you points. When you have this card that says you gain 4 points for every trick that you win, if you make this into a negative, then you lose 4 points for every trick that you win in that round. And you can play with 8 different paradigms on for every game. So you're gonna have all these different playing conditions. There's so many different ones, like collecting specific colors, collecting specific numbers, or winning conditions such as if you win the last trick, for example. And yeah, it's very fun to determine whether it's going to be gaining or losing points in that round. And I noticed that by playing this game, I really got to basically practice my trick taking. Next up, we have 13 animals. And actually, this was one of the games that was suggested to me by PLAYTE. And I was so pleasantly surprised by it. I didn't know anything going into it, and I guess this is kind of based on mahjong, and I've never played mahjong before, and I can see why mahjong is such a popular game, because my god, this is such an addicting game. It's so exhilarating trying to make the set collection and the way you take the cards and you put them down. Okay, so basically you have 2 piles of cards and 3 open piles, and every turn you take a card from either of the 5, and then you have to discard a card in one of the 3 open piles. And you are trying to create these combos, but they're very specific combos, and to win the round, your entire hand has to be in a set, in a combo. And it's just so fun, this game. It's really just trying to score and get these sets together. You've got these mythical creatures where they have to be 4 in a set, and you've got the birds that can be 3 in a set. You've got all the different bears, the pandas, the red pandas. The art is just so adorable, and it's so sweet to see the story of the designer at the back of the rule book, where he said how he was inspired to create this game from all the mahjong sessions that he was joining his grandma. I thought that was really sweet. Really nice game. I enjoyed it so much. It's exactly kind of the vibe I want sometimes when I go out to a coffee shop and just want to play a nice, quick, thinky, exciting game with an easy table spread. This is it. Again, for me, when these games tick, 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 these boxes is just perfection. And finally, we have 2 Sloth to win. This is a 3 to 5 players game where you combine ladder climbing with racing. Look at this demented sloth. I mean, the whole concept around this game is so funny. Let's take sloths and put them to a race. This game has the classic PLAYTE L box, I think they're called, where the box is the board itself. you have this suspicious juice that is a card in your hand. It's basically the legal substance that will push your sloth to the wind, but you don't want to be caught with it when one of the sloths reach the finish line. It's essentially a wild card that you need to very strategically play. On top of that, though, you don't want to really be the first to cross the finish line, because that trophy is not really worth any points. The points all come from the money that you take by rigging the race and coming second and getting paid from these shady people that have fixed the race. This is just such silly fun, and the art is just perfectly matches that vibe. The way you ladder climb is very simple. It's very reminiscent of a Scout in a way. You can play from 1 to 3 cards. You're either going to be doing what they call a jump, which is a set of numbers, or you're going to be doing a run of numbers, and you will play on top of it up to 3 cards. Otherwise, you're going to have to pass and then take a card from either side. But then you add the race component to these, and then you add also the fact that you're trying to get rid of the suspicious juice, and you're trying not to come first. It's just all these really little other funny considerations to keep in mind. So that was all from me. I hope you enjoyed my showcase of all these games. I had so much fun playing them the past week, and I hope that you actually check out more of PLAYTE's games. They have a massive catalog. I'm excited to get my second crate that I'll be buying at Board Game Business Expo. There's just even more games that I want. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for more. Board Game Business Expo is just around the corner, and I'm just getting so excited for it. Hope to see you there. Bye!